Okay. So today we're going to do a little bit of starting work with the foam roller that I have right behind me. I'm going to grab that. And then we'll be using a chair and some medium-ish weights, whatever that means to you. I've got fives close to me. I will probably end up using fives. If you want to go heavier, go for it. If you want to go lighter, please do. And just a logistical thing, I have some work next door happening. There's a house going up. So if you see things on the outside of that window or hear things, not that you need to know this, but that's what it is. So hopefully it won't be too loud. I have no idea what that will be like. Um, okay, so let's get started. I'm going to grab my foam roller and I'm going to bring that to the mat. We're just going to practice warming up the spine and warming up the core a little bit. My back really feels like it needs it today. So I'm putting my foam roller down, as you can see, so it's long ways on my mat. And I'm putting it towards the top portion of the mat because I'm going to align my spine from bottom to top with the foam roller. I'm going to sit as low as I can and lie down. And that always feels pretty good. Okay? So get yourself aligned with the foam roller. And then kind of adjust your feet and your arms so it feels like they are there to support you for this first part. And feel free to adjust them whenever you want to, just based on how you want to feel. So I'm going to let my spine just lengthen out on the foam roller, and I'm going to focus first on taking some nice deep breaths into my belly. So let's do that first. I have a friend who is about to have a pretty big surgery, having her uterus removed, and she's never taken any of my classes. She doesn't live around here, and she doesn't really do virtual stuff. So she just called me yesterday, and she said, "I'm curious if you can help me to perk up these muscles to get ready for my surgery." And I said, one of the best things we can do is just be a little bit more aware of how we're breathing. And we talked a lot about that. So I like to think about filling up my waist. I like to think about the fact that everything expands when you inhale. The pelvic floor and the diaphragm kind of work very similarly to one another. And the pelvic floor and the diaphragm lift as you exhale. So that's a really nice time to work those muscles in a very gentle way. Think about lifting the pelvic floor, lifting through the diaphragm. They naturally do that when you exhale anyway. You don't have to knock it out of the park. It's just a gentle awareness of the way of what happens when we breathe. So that was really the first thing I said to her. And it's always nice for me to say it to myself too. Let's just do one more breath here. Okay, I'm going to try to keep breathing like that. And I'm going to move my head from side to side. And just be careful here. Your head is heavy, right? So as you bring it side to side, you should feel a pretty deep stretch through the side of the neck into the shoulder. One of the things you can do to offset the weight of the head is to kind of reach the opposite arm out to the side. So I'm taking my head to the right and I'm extending my arm out to the left. I'm picking it up off the floor. And then when I come back, I replace the left arm and I'm reaching my right arm out as I bring my head to the left. This is a really nice way to warm up these muscles. It's also nice to do if you're taking a break after having done a bunch of work on the computer. Let's just do one more each way. And please don't hold your breath. And then come back to the center. Hopefully that feels a little bit nicer. We'll get the arms moving. As you're going to pick up your arms, turn your attention to your abdominals, kind of draw them in to create a little more structure. And we'll move the arms back around in a nice circle. You move at a range of motion that feels right for you. Breathe. You can align your breath with the movement, or you can just move and keep breathing. And then I'm going to go the other way. Other way, reaching wide and back. We'll do about 2 or 3 more depending on your pace. And then after this one, we'll bring the arms up towards the ceiling. I'm going to keep my palms forward, reach towards the ceiling, letting the shoulder blades kind of lift away from the floor and slide away from one another. And then let the shoulder blades slide back down. They'll kind of find their way around the foam roller. And we'll do this reaching up and then sliding back down a few times. This is a really nice way to give the shoulder blades a little bit of a massage in through those muscles that surround the top of your thoracic spine and your cervical spine there. Nice little massage, at least it is for me. One way that I increase the massage, you reach up. As you slide down, you can also bend your arms and come out wide and bring your elbows all the way down to the floor. You kind of have to noodle around with your range of motion here. Sometimes not bending the elbows feels like a better way to massage and wake up this area. So try a few things on your own. And we'll do 2 more here, still focusing on that nice deep breath. And now I'm going to make a circle with my shoulder blades, reaching up, sliding back, coming back down, and around again. 2 more in this direction. Breathe. Try to relax your forehead and your jaw. And let's go the other way. One more. Yes, that feels nice. And then I'm going to bring my elbows wide. I'm not bringing them to the floor. They're hovering probably about the height that my shoulder girdle is. And now we're just going to move the forearms. They're going to go back towards the floor, back up again, and the other way. Back towards the floor, so the back of the hand comes towards the floor, and then the palm comes towards the floor. I am naturally just letting my arms get heavier and heavier. I think this is a great little move for mobility and still just getting that nice little massage. Let's do 1 more each way. Holding light weights here would be a nice addition, by the way. It's nice to do without it. When you come back with your backs of the hands towards the floor, hold there. Keeping this shape, bring the elbows in and then bring the hands towards one another. You're moving in this plane where you're keeping your arms facing the ceiling. I just want to note this is a huge stretch for me. Suddenly, this is the most intense thing I've done so far. I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to do 3 more. Ooh, my goodness. We carry a lot of tension across the chest, right? 1 more here. Wowza. Okay, I'm going to come up towards the ceiling and then down by my sides. I'm just going to rest the arms here for a minute. Take a nice deep breath or 2. One more. Okay, so now I'm going to keep my arms down, and you can just keep adjusting them based on where you feel like they need to be. My elbows are down, my palms are down, not too wide away from the foam roller. I'm going to scooch my feet in towards one another, and I'm going to start to pick up one leg just a little bit and then put it down, and then the other leg just a little bit and put it down. And slowly I will probably increase this movement. I like to just get a sense of how this feels. You can adjust how your pelvis is keeping it neutral or slightly tucking it. Maybe try both. You don't have to over tuck here. Just find a way to create some stability through the pelvis. Breathe. So I'm naturally coming up a little bit more each time. And I'm going to do a few more like this. And 2. And 2. One more each way. And I'm going to continue, but I'm going to start extending the leg up towards the ceiling. Bit of a stretch. So this immediately starts to wake up my hip flexors. I'm sure you feel that. I would assume that you kind of feel that too. And the muscles in the all at the fronts of the legs. Let's do one more each way. And then come all the way down. I'm going to keep my arms where they are. One leg will come up, and now the other leg will come up. So this is a lot more intense. Take a break whenever you need to. I'm going to lower all the way down, and then lower all the way down. I'm going to hold here for just a sec. Inch my feet together so the feet are touching one another, and I'm going to let my knees go wide and then back up again. And wide and back up again. And wide and back up. One more time. Breathe and back up. Okay, we're coming back to legs lifted. One leg will come up and then the other leg too. Okay, so yeah, it's a lot more intense. You can adjust your arms if you need to. Give me a nice deep breath here. One more. And then down with one, down with the other. Okay? So now I'm going to move my arms closer to my side body, and I'm going to pick my elbows up. Feel free to put them back down if you need to. That adds more support. So my palms are down. I'm going back to lifting one leg at a time, but this time I'm going to add the opposite arm and return other way. And return. Let's continue to focus on having that core feeling. Trying to find, again, you don't have to tuck, you don't have to neutral, you can just be in a position where you can hopefully feel a connection there. There's no rules at this moment about that. So just keep adjusting until you find it. Let's do 2 more. One more each way. And then I'm going to come all the way back down. Okay, so I'm going to roll off of the foam roller, push it to the side, enjoy that super weird, lovely, kind of awesome feeling. Take a breath. And one more. Okay. I'm going to kind of roll to the side. I want to do one more thing before we do some work with the chair. I'm going to bring my foam roller like this, and then I'm going to lean back on it. Okay, so get yourself organized so the foam roller is, I would say, like mid to upper back. And I'm going to just curl forward. So the further back the foam roller is, the more I feel the need to bring my hands behind my head. At this moment, I'm pretty curled forward. And there's going to be some work here. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, curl forward a little bit more. So now we're really just getting a little bit more deeply into the abdominals. Inhale, let's pick one leg up. Just keep breathing. I'm just going to remind you to breathe. Breathe however you want. And then the other leg up. So one at a time here. Feel free to bring your hands behind your head if that's just a better choice. I'm going to do 3 more sets. 3. And 3. And 2. And 2. 1 more each way. And 1. Feet are going to go down. Now the hands will come behind the head. I'm going to lift my tush and scooch it forward a little bit. Now the foam roller is underneath the bottom of my shoulder blades. And I'm going to start to round back towards the floor and curl forward. Okay, so everybody has a different set of feelings as they move back and forth in this way. I feel like it feels really important to come close to the ground, like a really nice stretch and mobility work for this area of the spine. If it does not feel right for you, you just go halfway or a quarter of the way. It's okay to adjust. And come up. I also like to move forward a little bit because as you move yourself, you also move where the foam roller is hitting your back. And that gives that area a little bit of work, a little bit of massage. It's sort of like direct feedback from the foam roller. I'm just going to do 2 more here, focusing on mobility, breath, finding that abdominal connection. 1 more. And come forward, okay? I'm going to keep my hands behind my head, and I'm going to bring my feet together and my knees apart. 1 more stretch here before we come up to sit. As long as this is going well and that feels good, I'm going to add head back as well. Take a breath. And 1 more. Legs come up first. Inhale. Exhale, curl up. Okay, I'm going to roll back a little bit. Legs are going to come up, hands behind the thighs, and come on up to sit, okay? 1 more thing, actually. I'm going to put this to the side. Perhaps we'll use it later. Hands and knees for a moment. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. We've done lots of good wake-up mobility stuff. We haven't done any twisting yet, so let's do that here. You can keep your hands a hair, maybe narrow, or just really right underneath the shoulders. And we're going to start to pick up 1 elbow at a time, twisting gently through the middle spine here. If you want to straighten your arm as you pick it up, that's a much deeper stretch. 3 more. 2. 1 more each way. And then back to the center. Similar range of motion with the hips first. Spread the fingers apart, push the floor away, find some length through the spine and energy lifting away from the floor. 1 leg is going to lift and come out to the side, and then the other leg. And lift. And lift. Three more. 3. 3. 2, 2, 1, and 1. Return. Extend the left leg out. Draw the abdominals in just a little bit. Lower and lift that leg. Breathe for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Lengthen out. Find your belly connection. Lower and lift that leg. 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back. Curl the toes forward. Send the hips back, just giving yourself a deeper stretch through the feet. See if you can bring your heels in towards one another. Take a nice deep breath here. Relax your head. Lift your head up. Look forward. Arch your back a little bit. Send your shoulders away from your ears. Look right. Center left. Right. And center left. Come back to the center. Bring yourself back. You can keep your feet like this though, as long as you don't mind it too much. Bring your hands forward, maybe 5 or 6 inches. And we're going to bring our weight over our hands a bit more. So this is like a 2-for-1 deal, which I'm always a big fan of. Shoulders over hands. First, we're going to send our hips back, reach forward, let the head come down. Lift the head a bit, send your weight forward, hold here. Shoulders are right over hands. Elbows will bend wide. It's like you want to bring your chest towards the mat underneath you, kind of between your thumbs. And we'll do both of those again. Sitting back, head is heavy. Coming forward, find your length through your spine, your belly connection. Bend, press away. We're just going to do 4 more. Back, shift, bend, press away. 3. Again, bend, press away. 2 more. Breathe. Forward, bend, press away. 1 more. Forward, bend, press away. Okay, I'm going to come up to stand through a down dog. You can join me if that sounds like a nice idea to you. Finding length through the spine, heavy head. Try and release that shoulder tension, letting the shoulders slide back a little bit. Bend one knee as you straighten through the opposite heel, and do that a few times each side. Breathe. And then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna hang here for a sec. Heavy head. Woo. And then roll up to stand. And come all the way up. Okay, that was exciting. If you're watching this after, you can always press pause, go get a drink of water, come back for the next part. I'm just going to put this to the side because I really don't need it. I'm going to pull my chair over. Right like that. Okay, 5 pounds. That's what I'm going to choose to do. We're going to do some arm work and some standing work. I just feel like that's a good number for me. I may change my mind. I have 8s over there. I have 2s over there. So we'll see. I'm going to have a seat on my chair towards the front side of the chair. So I'm choosing to not lean back into the back of the chair. It feels like a nice opportunity for me to work the muscles in my spine and sit up nice and tall. If for some reason sitting all the way back in your chair is just a better choice for you, please do that. I just really need a quick drink of water. Okay. So arms by your sides, knees bent clearly. You can just have your knees and your feet and your hips track with one another. And first we're going to rotate through the arm, the whole arm, and you'll see the hands move as they look outward, and then they'll come all the way around and go the other way. You can feel as you move through this each way what's happening with your shoulders, right? It's weird. It feels weird, if I'm being honest. One shoulder feels a lot tighter than the other. Okay, so it's good to just pay attention to that. See if you can keep your breath moving. P.S. I'm trying to keep my head over, like directly over where my pelvis is. So I'm seated up nice and straight. I'm going to do one more each way. And then I'm coming back in, arms right by my sides. Now I'm going to lock my elbows, just the wrist. I just curled in, and I'm going to curl out. Curl in. This is hard for some people to do without moving the elbows or the shoulders. So see if you can keep an eye on yourself as you move through this. Cute little wrist joint is like, what? What are you doing? Let's do one more each way. Good. And then come back to the center. Now, staying lifted, belly is in. Nice, easy bicep curl. Straight up and then back down. Straight up and then back down. So one of the pluses of doing work sitting down is you really can just focus on the upper half of the body, get yourself comfortable and supported, and then focus on lifting through the spine. And we'll just do about 4 more here. And 3. And 2. One more time. And down and up, and then hold here, releasing a bit, letting the arms be heavy, right ear towards the right shoulder, left ear towards the left shoulder. Breathe. 2 more sets, and 2, 1, and 1. Come back to the center, sitting tall, bending, come up. This time I'm going to press one arm up at a time. So I'm keeping my hands, home position is like right in line with the shoulder. Up, up, reach, reach. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6. 2 more sets, 7, 1 more each way, 8, and 8. Come down and down. Now, head, look right, keep your shoulders still, look behind you, come center, other way, left, back, and center, right, back, and center, left, back, and center. Hold there. Okay, we're going to put the last 2 exercises together a bit, starting with the bicep curl with the right arm. Bicep curl, press up, back, right into the other side. Bicep curl, back, right side, up, press, down, down, left, up, down, down. We're doing 3 more sets here. Down, down, 3, down, 2 more, right, down, down, left, down, 1 more each way, right, down, down, left, down, and down. Hold there. Bring your chin in toward your throat, look towards the ground. I'm really moving the head on top of the spine, so I'm really pulling the skull, my chin in, and then sticking it out, sticking my chin out. So the head is moving on the spine. Try to keep the shoulders still again. One more. Return to center. Okay? Sitting tall, bring the arms towards the wall behind you and back in again. Small movement. Back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And then come forward. Okay? I'm going to keep my weights right where they are. We're going to do a nice easy set of squats, and I'm going to use the chair here. I'm going to keep my feet about as wide as the legs of the chair are, scooting my heels in just a little bit. Take a nice deep breath. I'm going to lean forward, come straight up, down, and sit back down. Forward, straight up, down, back down. So this is sitting down and getting back up again. This is squatting. Really great to practice doing, if you can, without the use of your hands. Very often people start using their hands to get up and down because we just stopped practicing using our legs, which are designed to really help us do this. So moving through this simple functional movement, a little bit of added weight. You can always pick up some heavier weights right now if that's right for you. We're gonna do 5 more. And 4. And back. And 3. And back. 2 more. And back. Last one. And back. And then just hold here. Walk your feet back where they were. Take a nice deep breath here. Quick little side to side. Right to left. And chin in, chin up. Chin in, chin up. And then come back to the center. Okay? I'm going to come up to stand. And for now, I'm going to put my weights off to the side for a moment. I have a little messy table here. I'm going to come back to them. And I'm going to adjust my chair so it's facing me. Now, P.S., if you don't have a sturdy chair, i.e. if you're using a folding chair, please proceed with caution. Or if your chair has wheels. This may sound super obvious, but we're going to be putting the weight of our upper body into the chair. So do what you need to do to stabilize it. I'm going to bring my hands to the sides of the chair. There's 2 options that work well. Holding onto the sides and then just coming and bringing your hands directly underneath you like this. Okay, so play around with what you do there. I'm going to come back to the sides there. And I'm going to hold on to the side of the chair. And I'm going to step out into a plank. So this is a challenging position to be in. This is, even though this is a modified plank because we're not down on the ground, I guess. It's a great place to practice this. You can keep your hips as high as you need to in order to get connected to your abdominals. I tend to ever so slightly tuck my pelvis so I can engage the abdominals a little bit more. So take a nice deep breath here. We're going to change our shape. Lifting the hips, leaning back, putting the heels down. Letting the sits bones stretch back and the head come down. We'll take a breath and then we'll come back to the position we were just in. Finding a bit of a flow here. Energy through the feet, through to the crown of the head, sending the shoulders away from the ears. Push the chair away. Breathe. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. And then I'm going to, again, lift through the hips, lower the heels, reach back through the sits bones, head is heavy. Deep breath. 1 more. And then we're going to do 1 more like this, shifting forward, energy through the parts here. Just to throw this out there, practicing a plank in different angles, like you can use the wall. You can use a kitchen counter, steps you have in your house. There's lots of ways you can figure out different angles that are just more doable for you. 2 more exhales here. Energize your feet. 1 more. Leaning back, lower the heels, sits bones back, head is heavy, exhale. And then I'm going to walk forward just for a moment. I'm going to walk my feet slightly wider than my chair. I'm going to come down to my forearms. And I'm going to lean my hips back, move my hips right and left. Right and left. One more time. And then come back to the center with your hips. Toe heel your feet in towards one another. Okay, for this next part, if being down here on your forearms just feels super awkward, two options. Come back here, that's fine. Or you can come behind your chair and just rest your fingertips on the back of your chair. So just find some other angle. I'm gonna come back down here. I'm gonna soften both knees just a little bit. I'm trying to get my back pretty straight. And I'm gonna bring my right leg back. Lengthening through my spine, sending the shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to lift the right leg and lower back down. Lift the right leg and lower back down. Okay? So just to remind you, you're welcome to come up here. That's fine too. I'm going to do 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. One more. And then step in. Send your sits bones back a little bit. I have my shoulders kind of over the middle of my forearms. Opposite leg goes back. The back leg is nice and straight. I'm putting a bunch of weight into my standing leg, which is my right leg. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more, and then step all the way in. I'm coming to, bringing my hands underneath me, and I'm going to roll up to stand. Roll it. All the way. Okay? Very nice. Okay, we're going to come back to a seated position. A little bit more arm work. I'm going to grab those 5s again. Those are working out for me. All right. So, yeah, just get yourself comfortable. Feet and knees together is fine. Coming out with separated feet and knees is fine too. So similar to our last exercises, a little bit different. We're going to be staying lifted through the spine. Try and get your head over your pelvis. Sit back in your chair if that's a better choice. We're bending our arms. When you bend, shoulders down, lifty chest, elbows in tight. Take a nice deep breath. Draw the abdominals in, keeping the elbows bent. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift. Good. And lower. 6 more. 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. 2. One more here. It's time when you pull your elbows in, turn your palms up. Continuing to sit tall. Lift the collarbones a little bit. Weights in, weights wide. Stability through your midsection. 5 more. 5. 4. 3. One more. And then come in, straighten out your hands again. Bring the arms down. Just relax for a moment, take a breath. And then we come back. Same thing. Up, down, up, down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Come in and hold, palms up. Slide your chest open a little bit, sitting tall, weights in, weights wide. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one. Come back in, rotate the hands all the way down. Just relax through the shoulders. Maybe a half circle in each direction. Never a bad idea for me. And return to center. One more each way. Return to start. Find your tall spine. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come in and hold, palms up. Weights in, weights wide. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, and return. Relax for a minute, take a nice deep breath. Scoot yourself forward. We're going to try another set of squats here. I'm going to continue to hold on to my weights. Belly button is in. Plant your feet in a sturdy position so you can press yourself up. I like exhale up. And sit back. And back. Really stand firmly up at the top. Really tall. Push the ground away. 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. One more time. Good. We can come up to stand and hold here. Feet together for a moment. Arms long by your sides. Shift your weight towards your toes and the balls of the feet. Lift and lower the heels. Feel free to stand with your feet wider. Oops, if you want. And lift. And lower. Toes apart, heels together is fine too. I cannot stay back. There we go. When I think about pulling my head back a little bit, that helps me to stay upright. 5 more here. Try to use all your toes. 4, 3, 2, last one. And all the way down. Okay, from here, I'm going to put these weights back down. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water, and we've got just a little bit left here. I'm coming down to the floor. If you need to grab your mat, grab your mat. We're still going to use the chair. I'm going to turn my chair to the side. I'm not necessarily going to use the chair. I'm just going to use it for structure. So I'm going to come down on to my back with my feet on the inside of the legs of the chair. So I can just gently press outward into the legs of the chair. Again, just to create a little bit of feedback as I lift my hips. P.S. Everyone's body is different. If you want to bring, maybe we'll try both and see how it feels, your feet wider to the outside of the legs of the chair. I don't even know what your chair is like. So I'm just pressing out into the chair. So for me, that works with my chair. We're going to keep the arms down by our sides. I'm pushing down into the floor, and I'm trying to keep my legs stable as I lift my hips and then lower down. One of the things I notice in classes is when people do certain movements, when there's no, not a Pilates reformer or anything to keep them in line, they move around a lot, which is fine. That's the way life is. But sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of structure so we can just take note of what happens when we move through a particular exercise. I'm going to do 5 more here. And 4 more. And 3. 2. And last one. Now I'm going to move my feet wider. I'm coming to the outsides of the chair. And I'm just going to press my heels gently into the legs of the chair. Lift and lower. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. And lower all the way down. Release through the pelvis. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to do one more set with my feet exactly where they are. You can try, if you're curious, about bringing your feet high on your chair. It changes the angle. I think my back doesn't really like it, so I'm not going to do it. But if that feels fun and exciting to you, you can give it a whirl. One more set of 10 here. 2. Long arms, long neck. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. And 10. Come all the way down. Relax through your pelvis. Take a nice deep breath. You can, if the chair is in the way, move it a little bit. We can bring the knees right and left. Right and left. One more each way. Right and left. And then back to the center. And now I'm just going to rest my legs right on top of the chair. I'm going to pull it in a little bit. Oop, that almost didn't work out. There we go. So my calves are supported by my chair. Here I'm going to bring my hands behind my head. Take a nice deep breath here. Find some connections through the abdominals. Exhale, curl up. Inhale back down. Four more. And 3. 2. One more. And lie all the way down. I'm going to bring my arms into a cactus position, elbows bent, palms up. And I'm going to bring both of my legs over to the right, and I'm going to look to the left. Let's do 3 more really good deep breaths here. And then I'm going to come through the center, over to the other side, and breathe. And then I'll come again through the center. Knees are just bent here. One more deep breath into the belly. And I'm going to roll over, come on up to sit, and then I'm going to come on up to stand. And we'll do one more thing here before we're free. I'm going to scooch my chair forward, hands to the back of the chair, and I'm going to walk back one more time, sending the hips all the way back and stretching the arms forward. Try to make this an opportunity to make space in between your vertebra. Stretch the shoulders, lengthen through the neck. Give yourself another super deep breath here. And then we're going to roll through the spine to step forward and roll up through the upper spine and stand really tall. Bring the arms to the ceiling. You can hook your thumbs, drop your chin a little bit, and stretch over to the right and the left. One more each way. And over. Come back to the center and arms down. Very nice. That feels good. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day.